Well, let's try this out. I know I'm a day late. But yesterday the kids were having a really bad day and I could not get the free time to make a video. Last time we had to cut it short. I think last time we were getting to the point to where I ended up having to go live with my grandfather. That was where things got a little rough. And my mom got put into a mental ward. We ended up being put to stay with my grandfather and grandmother, my mom's parents. Now, up until this time, we would go visit, but we always had my mom and dad with us. If something happened, they would discipline us. And Grandpa was on his best behavior. So, we never got to see the bad side of him. He was always our poppy, I guess you would say. That was what our nickname for him was. That was our nickname for him. But I remember the night my dad dropped us off. His mom was in the mental hospital. Dad just kind of pulled in, threw our bags on the front porch, said, "Here's the kids," and drove off. We got set on the couch, and we're told the rules of the house. You do not touch this, you do not touch that. You do not go here, you do not go there. If you break any of the rules of the house, you will be punished. Yeah. Kind of boomer mentality, which, we were okay with. I mean, whatever. And then the next day, David decided to play with one of Grandpa's model cars. He took it down off his shelf because he had them all up in his on shelves in his bedroom. And was driving it back and forth on the coffee table in the living room, and he broke one of the wheels. And he freaked out, ran back to the bedroom, and left it there because we were sharing a bedroom at this time. Grandpa came in. I'm sitting on the couch trying to figure out how to fix the car because I didn't want David to get in trouble. He saw me with a broken car and assumed I did it. He promptly snatched me up, took me back to his bedroom, set me on his bed. Then he went back over to his desk and fixed his car. It was a 2-second glue job and put it back together and looked like nothing had happened. And he let it dry and set it up on its back and let it dry. Had the wheel propped up. Then he turned to me and said, "I still remember this. I told you not to break the rules. There's a punishment." And he said it so cold, like it just wasn't a big deal. And he said it like it didn't matter. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get a whooping or maybe a timeout. That was my mom's thing. It wasn't. She never hit us all like my dad did or my grandpa did. Her form of punishment was sticking us against a wall and put our nose to the wall and hold our fingers out, our arms out straight to the side. And she would make us stand there for 20 minutes. That in itself was not okay to do to a kid. That was pretty messed up. But I was expecting something like that. No. He went over to his desk, pulled out a little pair of razor sharp snips that he used for modeling, pushed me down on the bed, sat on me, and then proceeded to cut one of my fingertips with the snips he used for the wires for the models. It was a pair of wire snips that he had sharpened. It's hard to see them, but I still have scars on my fingertips. That one's easy to see, I think. I don't know, is it? But that was what went on for a while. Um, every one of my fingertips were cut at one point. And I don't scar. I've had some pretty bad injuries over the years, and I don't scar unless it's repeated, like over and over again. So every one of my fingertips and my knuckle is scarred because of what he did. And after he would do it, he would take me and he would lock me in a closet. There was this closet at the end of the hallway. I know there were rooms on each side of the hallway, but I can't remember, to be honest. And had a little glass window, a little diamond-shaped window in the door. The shag carpet in the hall. 2 padlocks on the door. And he would put me in there with my fingers still bleeding. No bandage, no nothing. Tell me if I got blood on anything that was his, I would get in trouble again. And he'd leave me there for several hours. There was one time I was in there, I think, for almost 10 hours straight. The screwed up part is I got to where I looked forward to the closet because it meant the pain was over. I was safe. I started hiding stuff in the closet that would let me take care of my finger. I kept a couple flashlights in there and bandages, and I would band-aid my fingers, and there was I kept a roll of paper towels in there so I could stop the bleeding. I don't think he ever knew I kept them in there, because even when we went back to my parents and came back again, they were still sitting in the corner buried. So I don't think he ever found them. They might have when they moved out, but um, but yeah, the closet was a safe place, because if I was in the closet, the pain was over, and if I was quiet, he would forget I was there. Thankfully, David never did anything while I was in there. He heard me screaming, and he would go hide in the bedroom and play for hours. It wasn't until the next day that he would do something stupid again, and I didn't want what happened to me to happen to him, so I'd take the blame for it. And to this day, I don't think David realized what happened. I don't think he knows. He was so young. He probably doesn't even remember. He was 4, I think, or 5 when this started. But Then it took a turn for the worse. One day we were sitting there for breakfast, and my grandmother messed up his eggs. She burned them a little bit around the edges, and they were almost out of eggs, so she didn't have enough to make another set of eggs for him. So she came over, and I could tell she was shaking, and she was like, "Tommy, here's your eggs. I'm sorry, I burned them a little bit. We don't have any more eggs to cook. I needed to go to the store, but I haven't had time to." She set them on the table, and he started yelling. "God damn it, woman! If I wanted burnt eggs, I'd go down to the fucking store on the corner and get burnt eggs. I want you to cook my eggs the right way." And he just started yelling and cursing and screaming at her. And we were getting freaked out. We were scared, my brother and I. And he walks over and starts hitting her and punching her in the back and stuff. And she's just acting like it's not happening. She's just continuing what she's doing. Body jerking and glasses popping off of her face. She's sitting there just asking us questions like, "How's your food, babies?" And just thinking back about it, it's a pretty fucked up thing. Really fucked up thing. And I was only a kid, but I got sick of it, and I threw something at him, and I told him to leave my grandma alone. I ran up and started hitting him. He turned around and looked at me with a look that to this day still screws in my head. He's like, "Oh, you a man now, huh? You want to be man of this house? Tell me how I'm going to treat my woman." So I'm going to show you who's man of this house. He grabbed me by the back of my pants, lifted me up, carried me down the hallway to his bedroom. He he laid me across the bed, and he had these bungee cords that were in the hallway closet where he kept me. He had grabbed those, and he strapped me down, pulled down my pants, and said he was going to show me who was man of the house. He's sorry he had to do this. He kept apologizing to me. "I'm sorry I got to do this, but you need to know who's the man of this house, and you're going to respect the man of this house." And yeah, he kept apologizing to me. Told me it was for my own good, and it would teach me what it meant to be the man of the house. Just for the record, I don't think that's what the man of the house is. But he proceeded to rape me. He there was no niceties about it. There was no lube. There was no nothing. It was just he went straight for it, and it hurt, and I will never forget that. I remember every second of it. Maybe that's why I'm so protective of my kids. You touch one of my kids, and you're probably going to end up dead. You touch my wife, and you're probably going to end up dead. I tend to be a calm person now. I'm not who I was 20 years ago or 25 years ago. But that person is still in there. And that is probably one of the only things that will bring it out. You hurt my wife or my kids, you'll find out real quick how bad and mean of a person I can be. You can do anything you want to me. That doesn't matter. You can't say anything that I'm not already thinking. But this went on. And he would come home from the store he owned, and it became the new norm every day. He would come home, and David would have broken something or done something he wasn't supposed to. He would do his normal punishment and clip my fingertips, and then he would rape me, and then he would lock me in the closet and leave me there for the rest of the day. There were a few times that he actually left me there overnight. And honestly, I never slept better. I felt safe in that closet. I recently realized that that closet was where I was keeping myself mentally. Eventually, I would manage to get to where I was able to talk to a cop. This was a couple months down the road of this going on every day. But I managed to get to where I could talk to a cop, and the cops didn't believe me. My grandfather was a respected member of the community. He owned a store. Oh, he never could do that. He's a good person. He's a good Christian. I was accused of making things up to get attention. I was accused of making things up because I was a spoiled brat and I didn't get the way I wanted. I was accused of lying about him. Nobody believed me. I was an idiot kid. They didn't know what I was talking about. Even my own mom didn't believe me. It was a while later when I told her, but she dismissed it. Which is even worse because later on I found out that he used to do the same thing to her. Not the wire snips, but he would beat and rape her. And she took it for her siblings, so he wouldn't take it out on them. So she knew what type of person he was. She still called me a liar. I think that was the hardest part of all of it. There was living through it, having it done every single day. To then not even having your own mom believe you, calling you a liar. The worst part is that after all that went down, they would still make us go back and stay with them. And we didn't have a choice. So I grew up, and I got mean, I got angry. He would always tell me he's sorry, and he was only doing it because he loved me. And he wanted me to grow up to be a real man. I don't see how that makes you grow up to be a real man. Sorry if that came out all a little bit messed up. This is kind of one of the first public times I've ever said these things, and it's hard to talk about. I sat here for close to an hour trying to build myself up to be able to say the R word before I started recording. And now I still have nightmares about that. It has been 30 years since it happened. I guess the lesson I'm hoping that somebody will take from this: don't wait 30 years. I know it's hard. If you're going through these things, or you have gone through these things, if you're a man or if you're a woman, it's irrelevant. Your sexuality, your religion, none of that matters. If you have or are going through these things, don't make the mistake I did. Don't lock yourself in that closet. You will never be able to be happy. If you do find somebody that loves you, they're not going to wait forever. There's no amount of love in this world that could make somebody wait forever. And the term unconditional love doesn't exist anymore. With today's online social media stuff, it's too easy to find somebody new. It's too easy to have people tell you exactly what you want to hear, even if it's not real. It's too easy to walk away from somebody who's damaged when they need you the most. So don't wait too long. The longer you wait, the more the people around you have to pay the price, and the more you have to pay the price. You lose friends because they can't understand it. It's not that they don't want to, but in some ways it's good that they don't. Don't be angry at them because they can't understand it. Be happy for them. Because the only way you can understand it is if you've gone through it yourself. That was something I had to learn the hard way. When you've gone through bad things in life, never be angry at the people who don't understand. Be happy for them. See them as hope that there is good in the world, because they did not have to go what you've gone through. They're going to try to be there for you. And the best thing for you to do is be honest with them. The best way is for them to be there for you. If it's a friend, a wife, a husband, a loved one that you feel like you can talk to them. And be honest with them. Tell them that, I just need somebody to listen. I don't need feedback. I don't need you to say I understand or it's okay. I know you don't understand. Be direct with them. I know you don't understand, and I'm happy you don't understand. I just need somebody to listen and be compassionate. You'd be surprised how much weight that takes off of people knowing that you don't need them to understand. Because when you've gone through this stuff, it's a very hard pill to swallow. And people are afraid to ask about it. They're afraid of, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to talk to you about it. They don't know how to find out what's going on with you. So, unfortunately, it's kind of up to us. It's not that they don't want to help. They just don't know how. And most therapists don't have the slightest clue either because they never went through any of this. They were trained on textbooks, but they don't know what's going on. They didn't go through these things. And once again, that's good. It's good they didn't have to go through those things. This is one of those times when you should always pray to God that they don't understand. I know it's hard, but talk about it. Please. I think the hardest part of it was realizing that it wasn't my fault. That it was done to me, not because of me. That was honestly the most difficult part of it all. And to this day, I still struggle with that some. Well, it's been 26 minutes. I said I would try to keep these to 20, and we're well over. I'm going to go ahead and stop it for the day before the kids start making noise. Sorry I'm a day late, but I'll try to be back for next Wednesday. I've still got a lot to cover, a lot of things to go through. But yeah, if you've gone through this, or you're going through this, even if you don't feel like that person can understand, they're willing to listen, and they're willing to have sympathy, and they're willing to just be an open ear, and you trust them. Talk to them. Just talking about it helps more than you will ever know. Expressing how it made you feel, expressing the memories. It's painful at first, living through them again, but it helps. It helps you begin to heal. And the sooner you do that, the sooner you can get on with your life. You're not going to end up in the situation I am now. Because now I really am alone. I have friends online, but I'm alone. And to be honest with you, I probably always will be. And it's because I waited too long. Because now, as a 41-year-old man, you know what the normal response I get is? It's two communities. Either you're a victim, play the victim. Oh, you deserve to be a victim. I don't want to be a victim. Or it's man up. There's no healthy middle ground. So, don't have to man up. You don't have to play the victim. But you do have to process it. You have to own it. Don't let it own you. Don't let it control you. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Y'all have a good day. Bye.